Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, good morning everyone. It's nice to meet you today. I'm happy to have this material. Actually, this is the last material. I combine all three main topics for the last meeting. So today I will share all the material until final test. Yeah. So you will have activity of exercise like we did before, but all the material will be given today. Okay, so for today we are going to discuss about transformation, coordination, and other type of syntactic analysis. After we have learned about how to analyze the phrase and also sentence and embedded clauses in a sentence, and right now we are going to have an analysis on how those kinds of sentences change into the other form of a sentence. Yeah, now we are talking about the question formation. uh, have you ever think about how the sentence of interrogative sentence can be structured? For what reason that the change move? And then when you think about the question like, do you like sauces or do you like carrot, like that, we have the element of do in that kinds of sentence, while in fact in the statement sentence we don't have that kinds of elements. Yeah, so today we are going to discuss about that things. The first point or the first topic that we are going to discuss is about the transformation for inversion yes no question, because we have two kinds of question. The first is about yes no question, and the second one is WH question. For yes no question, that is the simple form of question. Yeah, when you get these kinds of question, you just need to answer yes or no. Yeah, so this is why it is called as yes no question. Okay, let's see for this one. So we have two sentence here, two interrogative sentence here. So here examine the sentence below. Yeah, will the boy live? And the second one, can the cat climb this tree? Okay, this is the question form. Yeah, the answer, you can easily say that whether the boy live or not. You can say yes or no. Yeah, can the cat climb this tree? Yes or no. Yeah, these two sentence of question, or these two question comes from this statement, the boy will live. Yeah, and for B, for the second part, can the cat climb this tree? It is from the cat climb this tree. So for this question, it is from XP rule. Yeah, this is from XP rule that is not appropriate. Yeah, there is change on the XP rules, because as we have learned that the XP rules consists from the specifier, the head, and complement, right? While for this statement, as we have discussed before, in sentence we have the head, we have the specifier, and also the complement. In sentence, the inflection is the head, right? The inflection is the head. And then we have two main element in a sentence, where in the first part is noun phrase and the second part is verb phrase. Okay, so for this one we call it as the XP rule. Yeah, where the XP rule is appropriate to this form of sentence. So how does it happen? From this sentence comes to this form form of question. Okay, the steps are: the usual XP rule is used to form a structure in which the auxiliary occupies its normal position in inflection. So it is between the subject and verb phrase. So you can see this one. Okay, and do transformation. After you have this one, do transformation to change become this. Okay, by moving the element of auxiliary, this one, yeah, in from its position to the left of subject. Okay, as we know that this is the subject, we move the auxiliary to the front. okay, the front of the subject. So this process is called as inversion of yes no question. So this process from this one, from the statement become question, is called as inversion for yes no question, okay, because the answer can be yes or can be no. So how to draw the tree structure? This is the step one. This is the XP rule, yeah. This is the XP rule where the sentence will involve the head and also have the noun phrase and verb phrase. This is the sentence, yeah. Okay, let's check for this one. The way, okay. As usual, we write the sentence with the space, right? And then we identify each element into what category is it. For the first one, the is determiner, boy is noun, and then will is inflection, and then live is verb. And then determiner and noun becomes noun phrase, while for live it can easily construct the verb phrase. And then will here as inflection, yeah. So we can combine this one, become sentence. This is the XP rule. Remember, to make change to be question form, we have to move the inflection in the beginning or in the first position or before subject. Okay, like this one. Sorry, live should be over here. Yeah, the boy, and then this is the empty space. Live. In the original sentence or in the original structure, the boy will live, right? But because we want to change this into question, we have to move the auxiliary in front of the subject. Then we move this one. The boy will the boy live? Yeah, and then you put the question. This is the second step because we have to move will in the beginning position. Okay, those kinds of structure, we call it deep structure and surface structure. There are two main distinct mechanisms in analyzing the sentence. The first is the XP rule itself, and then the second one, transformation. What does it mean? The transformation means that what change that happens in the sentence. Yeah, you have to keep on your mind for the XP rule first and then look at the sentence and what is different in that sentence. When you think that something is different, something is moved, then you have to analyze what kinds of movement on the sentence. Yeah, that is to analyze sentence in terms of syntactic analysis. Okay, so after you got this one, there are two level of syntactic structure. We have deep structure. This is the original formation of the sentence. Yeah, the we can say that deep structure is formed by the XP rule in accordance with the head subcategorization properties. You have to remember that in the deep structure, it implies the XP rules, or it shows the XP rules where it has head, it has two main phrase, noun phrase and verb phrase. Okay, while if there is change in that sentence, when the inflection position is not in its position as in XP rule, so it means that it has it is the surface structure or S structure. This is the form that is resulted from any kind of transformation process in the form of question. Yeah, so when you easily see that this is the form of question, so it is the surface structure. Okay, when the form of or the structure of sentence is still in the original structure, like it has the inflection in its position and it has a noun phrase in the beginning position and then verb phrase after the inflection, so this is a clearly deep structure. Okay, how to see that? I have provided the three structure for deep structure and surface structure. Look at this one. Yeah, for deep structure, this is by applying the XP rule, right? The boy will live. As the previous example that we have had, this is the head of the sentence where it is the inflection. Yeah, in this case the head is in the auxiliary and then noun phrase and then verb phrase, so it can construct easily the sentence. So we call this as deep structure or D structure or DS. Okay, while for surface structure, sorry, leaf should be right here ya. Leafnya harusnya di sini, okay? The boy and then followed with the empty space, yeah. But for the normal view, there is no space at all because the form will be will the boy live, okay? Will the boy live? The inflection has moved to the beginning position, okay? So when you find this one, so we call this as surface structure or S structure or SS, okay? SS will capital ya, with capital letter, okay? SS like that. Now, so we can conclude the syntactic component of the grammar from the XP rule. It construct the deep structure and then have it occur the transformation. In this case, we talk about inversion of yes no question, and then after that the result is the surface structure or in the form of question. So this is the level of the change. Start from the XP rule, this is deep structure, yeah, and then we have transformation, whether it is inversion or WH movement, yeah, and then it becomes the surface structure or in the form of question. So the surface structure is the question form, okay? Now we go to the second movement. This is for WH movement. If you think of some question that start with WH, like what is your name, what is your name, that also taken from the taken from deep structure, in which the deep structure is consists or form from XP rules. Okay, look at this one. Which car should the man repair? And then what can the child sit on? These both sentences come from this. Yeah, the man should repair which car? The which car his is the noun phrase. Yeah, we can change which with, for example, that car. The man should repair that car. But because this information should be answer or should be find out, so we change this one become WH, okay? Which car? This is the same with the second one. What can the child sit on? Taken from the child can sit on what? Yeah, so for the question we have to find out, or when we form the question we have to find out with this information, yeah. For example, the child can sit on the chair. So what here uh, has the information about noun phrase, okay? As in versions of yes no question, so in this case the XP rule is not appropriate. Well, for this one, this consists from the XP rules. Yeah, the XP rule is appropriate for this one. Okay, so which car occur as complement of the verb repair? Yes, and then what appears as the complement of the preposition on? Look at this one. The man should repair which car? The man is a noun phrase, should is the inflection, and then repair as the verb, this one as a noun phrase. So repair which car? Repair which car? Which car is the complement for repair, because when we construct this one it becomes verb phrase. Okay, this is the same with this one. The child can sit on what? The child here as a noun phrase, can is the inflection, and then sit is the verb, on is the preposition, what is noun phrase. So on what is the complement of sit. Okay, oh sorry, this what itself is the complement on of on. Okay, next, this is the tree structure of the deep structure for WH movement. So this is the what is it, the XP rules, yeah, the sentence form. Look at this one. The man should repair which car. Okay, we identify each element. The determiner, man is noun, should is inflection, repair is verb, and then which is determiner, because this becomes the what is it, the question form of the sentence, and then car is a noun, and then we combine this is determiner with noun, it becomes noun phrase, and then repair for praise meet with noun phrase, so it becomes verb phrase. When noun phrase meet with verb phrase, so it constructs sentence with the inflections of should. How do we change this into question with WH? Yeah. This is the same with the deep structure for the child can sit on what, yeah. So the movement is like this, yeah. So the movement of WH question, WH fulfill the complement of the sentence. So to convert the deep structure into WH question, the WH phrase is move at the beginning position of the sentence. Yeah, this is actually the further step after we do the inversion. So the first step, and when we want to change the question into WH question, we have to do the inversion first. So the next is the WH movement. Yeah, after we have known how to do the inversions of yes no question, the key is by moving the inflection to the beginning of the subject. For the WH question, after we move the inflection to the first positions before the subject, and then we move again the WH question in front of, yeah, in front of the inflection. Okay, so in this case, the WH question is or becomes the first part of the question structure. Okay, look at this one. The first sentence, okay, for example, we ignore the which car first, yeah. We want to make inversion first. For example, the deep structure is the man should repair which car. Perubahan pertama or the first change is we do the inversion. Should the man repair which car? That is inversion. But because we want to do WH question, then we move this one. Should the man repair which car? Then we have to move which car in the front of the should. So it becomes which car should the man repair? So in this case, in this sentence, in this question form sentence, we have two empty space. This is for the inflection. This is for the WH movement of which. Okay. That is the first one. And the second one, the child can sit on what? Right? So the first is do the inversion. Can the child sit on what? That should be answered with yes or no, right? But then we have to construct WH question. So what can the child sit on? What can the child sit on? So we have to empty space here. So E is empty space, yeah. So how to construct that in a tree structure? Yeah, this one is the deep structure. Yeah, this one is the deep structure. Move, yeah, move the position, yeah, move for the position. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, the man should repair which car? Yeah, okay, this one. So when we want to change that, which car should the man repair? Ini kan tanda tanya ya. Tadi kan we have two empty space ya. Should-nya pindah ke depan, dan E-nya ini empty space yang kedua ini pindah lagi ke depannya. Which car? Ini which car ya. Okay, look at this one. This is the deep structure ya. This is the deep structure. The man should repair which car? Nah, we want to exclude or put outside the should first. So should be put in front of the man. So it become the complementizer. Yeah, it becomes the complementizer. While for which car it is put in front of should, which car, it becomes noun phrase. Noun phrase that held the bigger CP or complementizer phrase. Okay. Okay. Before we go to that, we learn about the other example first. Yeah. Okay, so here the other example. Look at the sentence. The coach wondered if the girl should stay. Okay. And then a fan asks whether the team will win. So for the inversion of the sentence with complementizer, yeah, sometimes we have a problem for this one because when we put the complementizer like this one, the coach wonder if if should the girl should stay, while the actually is if the girl should stay. This one, yeah. So this is not appropriate. Yeah, this is seems not natural. The coach wonder if should the girl stay. This is not natural, but it will be more natural when there is no complementizer. Yeah, there is no complementizer. The coach should the coach wonder should the girl stay. Yeah, so there is no if or whether. So it will be easier to move the inflection in front of the subject, this one. So we move the what is it, the inflection for the if clause sentence. Okay, so the conclusion here, there are two changes into the system of syntactic analysis used until now. So the first one, all sentences occur inside of the CP. Yeah, because it is possible to construct larger sentence. Yeah, and then the second one, the inversion transformation moves the auxiliary from its position within the sentence to an empty complementizer position to the left of the subject. Yeah, that is the example. Okay, now the next transformation is do insertion. Okay, if if you still remember when we forming the present tense like Andy eats the cake. Does Andy eat the cake? So how do you know where does come from? Ya, jadi ketika menyusun kalimat tersebut itu kan statementnya Andy eats the cake. Lalu ketika berubah menjadi pertanyaan, tiba-tiba muncul does. Itu dari mana does-nya? Sedangkan kalau bentuk pertanyaan the boy will live, itu kan jelas sekali bahwa yang kita ubah adalah will-nya. Posisi dari will-nya itu kan diubah ke depan subjek ya. Tapi ini kemudian dalam bentuk seperti itu muncul does, do, atau did like that. So we talk about this one ya. Look at the sentence. The students liked the film, and then those birds sing. Did the students like the film? Atau do those birds sing? Ini kan muncul ada did, ada do. We see did or do. Where actually those two elements here come from? Yeah. So remember that this structure fulfill the XP rules. Yes, fulfill the XP rule. Ini kebalik ya, tuh kebalik. Sedangkan yang ini, this is not appropriate to the XP rules. Ya, from the example above, the inflection in the deep structure is in the form of abstract inflection. Masih ingat ya, kalau ada kalimat seperti ini kan inflectionnya tidak ada dalam bentuk past atau non-past kan? Ya, jadi di sini masih ada abstract inflection, penanda kalimat dalam bentuk abstrak. Kita tulisnya ke dalam tree structure-nya itu adalah inflection untuk PST, yaitu past, lalu non-past itu untuk bentuk lain selain past, ya. So in this case, there is nothing to move. Gak ada yang bisa dipindahkan di sini. Kalau ada auxiliary itu kan jelas kita bisa pindahkan auxiliary-nya. Tapi dalam hal ini tidak ada yang dipindahkan. Maka dari itu, dalam aturan bahasa Inggris, in the systems of English, we can insert do. Ya, we can insert do. So bagaimana kemudian ada menjadi does atau menjadi did, itu menyesuaikan dengan subjek dan jenis tensesnya. Ya, ketika kita menemui tenses jenis past tense, maka yang kita insert di sini adalah did. Lalu do atau does, it depends on the subject. Ketika di sini subjeknya adalah tunggal, maka kita pakainya adalah does. Kalau di sininya plural untuk present tense, maka kita pakainya adalah do. Maka, so these kinds of structure or these kinds of change, we call it as do insertion. Do insertion is inserting interrogative do into an empty inflection position. Ya, tadi kan dibilang bahwa inflectionnya itu adalah abstrak, maka kita masukkan dulu do-nya agar mudah membentuk pertanyaannya. Ya, dengan memindahkan si inflectionnya itu ke posisi di depan subjek. Ya, begini, this is the way we insert the do. The first, ya. This is the initial or the original structure, ya. We call it as deep structure, where it fulfill the expirals. Those birds sing. Those determiner, bird noun, it become noun phrase, and then sing, this is verb, and easily to construct verb phrase, okay? Because there is no inflection in this case, so we can construct the inflection here as non-past. This is the abstract head, okay? The abstract inflection. Don't forget, we have to draw the CP construction, because as we learned before that sentence occur within the XP. Jadi sentence itu terbentuk di dalam CP, ya, CP. Jadi sebuah kalimat itu bisa saja membentuk struktur yang lebih besar, oke? Okay? Lalu, and then we go to the next step, ya, by inserting do. Okay, those birds do sing. So it becomes real, no longer abstract. When it is real, so we can move it easily. Okay, remember that we move the inflection in front of the subject, yeah, in the position of complementizer. Yeah, this is the third step. After inversion, in the first position, those birds do sing, right? Then we can easily move. Sorry, ini kegeser lagi. E-nya harusnya di sini ya, sing-nya itu harusnya di sini. Oke, nah kita pindahkan. We move do here in front of the subject. Nah, ini kan inflectionnya. This as the complementizer, it constructs CP dan embed the sentence. Okay, determine and noun become noun phrase, and then this one sing as verb become verb phrase. So this one after inversion, this is the surface structure. This is the surface structure. This is the previous one. The inversion, the tree structure for WH movement, yeah, we will get this change. Look at the previous one. The man should repair which car? It becomes which car should the man repair? Yeah, the first is inversion, the second one is WH movement. Okay, and movement of the subject WH word. If in the previous example, the WH question in the positions of the object, right? This is the positions of object. Yeah, repair which car? Yeah, this will be quite confusing when the WH word is in the subject position. Yeah. For example, the sentence that we want to change is who criticized Maxwell. Who here, for example, Linda criticized Maxwell. We want to make question that the answer is Linda. So in this case, the WH question is in the subject position, right? So we have to draw the deep structure first. Who, yeah, so ignore this one because we talk about the deep structure first. Who criticized Maxwell? We want to move this one. Remember, we move the WH question in front of the subject. So we just move who in the front. Still the same. Who criticized Maxwell? But when it is construct in the question, there is actually empty space in the subject. Yeah, okay. In doing the transformation, we have several constraints. The first is movement of an auxiliary to the nearest C position. Yeah, the first thing that you have to remember that we cannot move the auxiliary from the what is it, the 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 far position. Jadi kita tidak bisa ya, tidak bisa memindahkan auxiliary yang posisinya jauh dari subjek utamanya, ya. Subjek utamanya. Ini kan we have to auxiliary here. Harry should and then the battle might, ya kan? So we should move should-nya, not might-nya. Misalkan Harry should know that the battle might explode. Lalu kamu buat pertanyaannya adalah might Harry should know that the battle explode? Itu nggak bisa seperti itu. Tapi pindahkan yang paling dekatnya. Harry should know that might the battle explode. Ini kan tidak bisa seperti itu, ya. Jadi bentuknya adalah should Harry know that the battle might explode? That is the correct one. And then the subject constraint. No element may be removed from the subject phrase as the previous example. This one. Nah, kalau misalkan kita mau memindahkan ini, maka posisinya yang tetap di sini. Sebenarnya itu sudah terjadi perubahan. Hanya saja dia posisinya di subjek, jadi tidak terlihat. Ya, misalkan tadi Linda mengkritik Maxwell. Siapa yang mengkritik Maxwell? Linda kan? Ya, ini kan di sini posisinya. Sebenarnya kita pindahkan. Who criticize Maxwell? It's Linda. Ya kan? Linda criticize Maxwell. Jadi sebenarnya ini itu berpindah. Tapi karena posisinya di subjek, itu tidak terlihat berpindah. Jadi tidak mungkin dipindahkan ya secara clear. No element can be removed from the subject phrase. Okay. Next, the coordinate structure constraint. No element may be removed from the coordinate structure. Coordinate structure itu maksudnya gimana? Yang dihubungkan. That use conjunction. For example, apple and banana. Apa yang dimakan oleh Linda? Apple and. Misalnya kamu hanya mencari tahu banananya aja, itu nggak bisa. Apa yang dimakan Linda? Apple and banana. Itu jawabannya. Jadi tidak bisa dipindahkan elemen yang berada dalam coordinate structure. Okay. Now we talk about coordinate. This is for the 13th meeting. Oke. Yang sebelumnya tadi ya, itu constraint dalam transformation bahwa dalam coordinate structure itu kita tidak bisa memindahkan elemennya. We cannot move what is in the coordinate structure. What can be coordinated in the sentence ya? In this case, a common syntactic pattern in English and other languages is formed by grouping together two or more categories or the same type with the help of conjunction such as and or. Ini maksudnya conjunctionnya adalah and dan or ya. Yang bisa kita gabungkan di sini ya, coordination of noun phrase. The man and a child, a boy or a girl. Lalu berikutnya coordination of verb phrase, go to the library and read a book. or go to library or read a book. Okay, and the next, coordination of prepositional phrase: down the stair and out the door, in the drawer or under the desk, yeah. And then coordination of adjective phrase: quite beautiful and very expensive, or and then quite wealthy but very stingy. This is also conjunction. And then coordination of sentences. Okay, sentences. The sentences also can be coordinated. Yeah, the man entered the building and the woman waited in the car. Yeah, and then the man entered the building but the woman waited in the car. So we can coordinate it two sentences. Okay, there are four important properties of coordination. The first is no limitation on the number of coordinated categories that can appear prior the conjunction. And then the second is a category at any level can be coordinated. And the third, coordinated categories must be the same type. And the fourth, category type of the coordinated phrase is identical to category type of the element that being conjoined. Yeah, this is the example for the first properties. Di sini kan dikatakan bahwa tidak ada batasan jumlah dari kategori yang digabungkan, ya. Nah, contohnya seperti ini. A man and a boy and a cat and a dog and a hamster. Itu bisa digabungkan semua dan bisa diletakkan di akhir saja cukup, ya. Contohnya bagaimana? A man, a boy, a cat, a dog and a hamster got into the car. Jadi bisa seperti itu, ya, dalam coordination. Kalian jangan lupa untuk menambahkan koma saja, ya. Jadi a man and a boy and a cat and a dog and a hamster itu bisa digabung, ya. Tapi bisa dilakukan dengan mudah meletakkan satu conjunction saja di akhir. Di awalnya kalian tuliskan dulu, lalu di akhir satu posisi sebelum akhir itu tambahkan conjunctionnya. A man, a boy, a cat, a dog, and a hamster got into the car. Itu untuk penjelasan dari properties yang pertama. Lalu yang keduanya, a category at any level can be coordinated. Can be coordinated. Contohnya bagaimana? The book and the magazine. Jadi the-nya itu bisa kita tuliskan satu saja di awal untuk menggabungkan book dan magazine. Ya. Jadi di sini the book and magazine. Itu specifiernya masih menggunakan yang sama, the book and the magazine. The book and magazine. Ya, this is for the second properties. Atau ketika kalian menemukan frase seperti ini, up the stair and down the stair. Itu bisa kalian ambil yang samanya, yaitu stair-nya. Jadi up and down the stair. Ya, tadi kan bentuk awalnya adalah up the stair and down the stair. Sama kan? Naik tangga dan turun tangga. Kalian bisa satukan naik dan turunnya atau di prepositionnya. Ya, up and down the stair. Oke, itu maksud dari properties yang kedua. Lalu yang ketiganya, coordinated categories must be of the same type. Betul, you cannot combine the phrase that has different structure. Contohnya, kalau misalkan kalian punya noun phrase dengan verb phrase, itu kalian tidak bisa satukan dengan conjunction. Ya, jadi harus di level yang sama. Read the book and write some notes. Ini verb phrase, ini juga verb phrase. Maka kalian bisa satukan dengan conjunction. Oke, next. Kita ada berikutnya, the category type of the coordinated phrase is identical to the category type of the element that being conjoined. Oke, maksudnya gimana? Jadi yang tadi, read the book and write some notes. Ini kan sama-sama verb phrase. Ketika digabungkan, maka kategori atasnya itu adalah verb phrase. That is the same. Like read a book or walk the dog. Di sini read a book adalah verb phrase dan walk the dog adalah verb phrase. Kita punya conjunctionnya adalah or. Maka kita bisa dengan sederhana menyatukan elemen ini sebagai verb phrase. Paham sampai di sini? Ya, oke, good. Next, modifier. Oh my god, ini kok hilang ya? Oke, nanti kita bahas aja lah. Kalau misalkan kalian ada bukunya, itu kalian bisa cek modifier ya. Cek modifier itu ada di halaman 225 ya. Ini maaf ya. Tadi udah diketik padahal, but I don't know. It suddenly disappear. Jadi modifier. What is modifier? Modifier adalah kelas dari elemen yang encode atau membawa properties dari head yang bisa optional gitu ya. Maksudnya bagaimana contohnya? Adjective phrase itu untuk head dari noun. Lalu preposition itu untuk head dari verb. Lalu adverb phrase itu bisa memodifikasi verb. Contohnya adalah beautiful girl. Di sini modifiernya adalah beautiful. Girl-nya itu noun kan? Nah, untuk adjective, itu beautiful kan adjective. Adjective biasanya ada di depan head-nya, di mana head-nya adalah noun. Lalu kalau preposisi contohnya with care. Misalnya, she loves her with care. She loves with care. Jadi loves-nya itu kan loves-nya itu kan verb ya. Ada with care itu kan prepositional phrase ya. Jadi prepositional phrase atau modifier prepositional phrase itu mengikuti head ya. Lalu bagaimana dengan adverb? Adverb itu contohnya early. She comes early. She comes early. Nah, early-nya itu modifier, dia muncul setelah head. Oke, ini contoh modifiernya. Look at this one. An international crisis. Ya, jadi an ini determiner, international itu kan adjective. Ya, dan headnya adalah sebenarnya si krisisnya ini. Jadi international itu menambahkan informasi tentang krisis. Krisis yang mana? Krisis yang international katanya. Nah, the international here atau this international is the adjective. Adjective itu precedes the head. Ya, jadi munculnya itu sebelum headnya. Di sini headnya, di sini modifiernya ya. Jadi ketika kita bisa bentuk tree structure-nya itu seperti ini ya. Determiner, adjective, and then noun. This become adjective phrase. Adjective phrase itu modify the noun, so it easily construct the noun phrase. Lalu yang berikutnya, always proceed cautiously. Cautiously. Maka di sini always-nya itu qualifier atau dia sebagai specifier, proceed-nya itu head, dan di sini ada adverb. Adverb phrase itu dia modifier untuk proceed, maka dia munculnya setelah head-nya. Dia membentuk verb phrase. Oke, sampai di sini paham? Nah, bentuk berikutnya yang masuk ke dalam syntactic analysis adalah bentuk passive structure. Kalian sudah mempelajari passive structure ya. Passive structure itu di mana si objek dalam aktifnya itu pindah menjadi subjek kan. Nah, this is the passive structure. We look at this one ya. The thieves took the painting. The painting was taken by the thieves. Ya, jadi kita punya dua istilah. We have two terms here. Agent is the doer. Doer ini ya. Doer designated by the verb. Ya, ini kan the agentnya. Lalu the theme is the entity directly affected by the action. Ini kan the agent. Ini the theme-nya. Nah, kita lihat perubahannya. The active sentence. The thief took the painting. This is the agent atau the doer-nya. Lalu painting ini the entity-nya yang disebabkan oleh action-nya. Ya, ini berubah menjadi pasif. Si theme-nya pindah ke depan, the thief-nya pindah ke belakang. Ya, the painting was taken by the thief. Ya, in this form, we have two kinds of analysis. The first is relational analysis. Relational analysis, nah ini kan berubah lagi. Kenapa ya dimasukkan ke sini semuanya pada kacau? Oke, sorry ya. Nah, kita lihat the relational analysis itu ada fakta yang penting ya that correspond between the grammatical relation found in the passive sentence and active ya. Jadi in the active sentence the thief took the painting, the thief is the subject and then the painting is the direct object, right? In passive the painting becomes subject and the thief becomes object ya. The painting was taken. Actually this is enough here. Ini cukup seperti ini. By the thieves, that is optional ya. You can put or you can say this one or you also can ignore this kinds of information. The painting was taken. This is easily can be recognized that of course this is taken by the thieves, right? Ya. The painting atau paintingnya dicuri itu kan udah jelas yang nyurinya ya pasti pencuri entah siapanya ya. But so the information or the main information is this one. So the direct object become the subject and the subject become object ya. So those properties of the structure in the active form, this is active pattern and this is passive pattern. The subject become object and the direct object become subject. Yeah, this is the relational analysis. In functional analysis, the construction of passive, yeah, the syntactic analysis can also focus on the way in which different syntactic structure are used to communicate information. So they are done to understand the syntactic phenomena in terms of their communication function. Fungsinya, jadi yang ditekankan adalah fungsi komunikasinya. Ya, jadi in this case, the function of the passive is to de-emphasize the role of agent in the situation that is being described. Yang tadi itu kan pencuri mencuri lukisan, ya. Jadi fungsi dari pasif itu untuk menekan atau bukan menekan ya. De-emphasize itu tidak terlalu memperhatikan si agennya, tapi memperhatikan ketindakannya, ya. Yang kedua, foreground the theme by making it the subject, yaitu ya. Tadi kan theme-nya itu si paintingnya, bahwa paintingnya itu hilang dicuri, ya. So in this case, passive sentence create continuity in the flow of the information. So it will look more natural in the what is it? In the process of conveying information, ya. Contohnya begini. Contohnya ya. Kita lihat yang aktifnya ya, yang aktifnya. Perhatikan baik-baik. McGregor is a pretty lucky bloke. Last night he went out, got drunk, and started rolling around in the street. Before too long, he was hit by a car, but he wasn't even injured. In fact, he got up and walked home. Itu yang pasif ya. Nah, di sini kita perhatikan he was hit by a car. He was hit by a car. Ya. Di situ kan dia bentuknya pasif. Kenapa? Karena ingin mempertahankan flow informasinya, di mana dari awal yang diperkenalkan adalah McGregor-nya. Ini kan, jadi ceritanya begini, McGregor itu sangat beruntung. Kemarin dia keluar, nongkrong, mabok, dan gentayangan maksudnya bersempoyongan gitu, sempoyongan di jalan, sempoyongan dian ya, kan masih ngomongin dia kan. Saya ulangi lagi, McGregor sangat beruntung. Kemarin malam dia, nah ini ya, dia keluar, lalu mabok-mabokan, lalu sempoyongan di jalan. itu kan menjelaskan dia kan. Lalu dilanjutkan kalimat berikutnya, lalu nggak beberapa lama kemudian dia ditabrak mobil, tapi dia tidak terluka sedikit pun. Dia bangun dan tetap melanjutkan jalan pulang. Coba kalian perhatikan flow of information-nya ya. Bedakan dengan berikutnya. McGregor itu sangat beruntung. Kemarin malam dia nongkrong, mabok-mabokan, dan sempoyongan di jalan. Beberapa lama kemudian sebuah mobil menabrak dia. Nah, tetapi dia tidak terluka, bla 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 bla. Di sini ada ada aktif. Apa? Sebuah mobil menabrak dia. Sedangkan kalimat berikutnya dia tertabrak. Ya. Nah, di sini jelas bedanya bahwa passive sentence itu membentuk membentuk keberlanjutan dalam sebuah informasi, di mana ketika di awal ini dari yang saya contohkan tadi adalah menekankan si McGregor kan, menekankan si McGregor itu gimana, lalu tiba-tiba dia ketabrak. Nah, ini kan masih tentang dia, ya kan? Lah, kalau misalkan yang dibentuk aktifnya dia, mobil, dia. Nah, begitu. Paham nggak? Oke, saya harap paham ya. Itu maksud dari functional analysisnya. Functional analysis di mana tujuan utamanya adalah untuk mempertahankan urutan informasinya. Maka kita memerlukan bentuk dari pasif. Oke, itu dia pembahasan untuk hari ini ya. Seperti biasa, kalau ada yang ditanyakan, kalian boleh menanyakan di WhatsApp group. Untuk latihannya kita mulai minggu depan ya. Nanti seperti biasa saya akan berikan soal-soal dan kalian belajar untuk menganalisisnya. Untuk pembahasannya bisa kita lanjutkan setelah kalian selesai menjawab exercise-nya atau melakukan the exercise. Okay, that's all from me today. I hope you got clear understanding for my explanation ya. Sorry, tadi dalam slide-nya itu ada beberapa yang tidak sesuai penulisannya atau ada yang hilang ya. Kalian bisa cek bukunya ya, cek buku di Contemporary Linguistic yang bab terakhirnya. Oke, okay? Thank you for today. Jangan lupa jaga kesehatan ya, tetap jaga kebersihan ya, and always be happy. Oke, okay? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.